Female colleague wants to accompany me home for the new year. Pretend to be my girlfriend. I'm very happy. Finally, I don't have to go on blind dates all the time this year. After she arrived at my house, my parents liked it very much and said she hoped her husband would give in to her. Let's have a baby quickly. But I haven't spoken yet. She actually nodded in agreement. Li Shui is my new colleague and is 3 years older than me. But she is a very beautiful and exquisite beauty. Every day I wear makeup to work. Long black hair. Fair skin with long eyelashes. There is also a pair of dimples when you smile. She is not seen as a woman in her 30s. I remember when she joined the company on the first day. With a ponytail. Wearing a beige skirt. That skirt is waist-hugging. Her waist looks thinner. It gives people a beautiful feeling. It has charming. Because our group is short of people. The manager arranged Li Shui to our group. I also specifically asked me, an old fried dough stick, to take care of me more. It made those male colleagues grit their teeth one by one. Envy and jealous of me. Everything doesn't take it seriously. After all, for a beautiful woman like Li Shui, I never feel like I agree. Don't dare but have unreasonable thoughts. But by chance. But I have an intersection with him. That was a day before the Chinese New Year. Called from home to urge me. Must go home this year. I know my family wants me to go back for a blind date. I feel a headache. Turn your head. Just lie to your family. I already have a girlfriend. What's your relationship when you go back? As a result, my parents heard it. I was so excited that I had to go home for the new year this year, no matter what. And take your girlfriend back. Must bring me back. Want to continue lying. But my parents just threw a word to me. I won't bring my new girlfriend back this year. You won't come back in the future. You don't have parents hanging up the phone. I threw my phone aside. Olive agitated. I'm lying very much. Why do you have a girlfriend? Xiao Wang takes his girlfriend home for the new year. How happy it is. Why are you frowning? A faint moment. A gentle laugh sounded. It was Li Shui who turned her body sideways. I asked a question with a smile. Suddenly I smelled the very good smell on Li Shui. A faint taste. But it smells like perfume. Senior sister. How do you stay in the office? Didn't you go out to get takeaway? I felt very embarrassed when I reacted. Because the Chinese New Year is coming soon. Most of the people in the office set out on their way home in advance. It's lunch break now. There should be no one in the office. I didn't go out to answer the phone. As a result, Li Shui heard it. Ah. Sorry. I didn't eavesdrop on purpose, but the delivery man was delayed. Let me pick it up after 20 minutes. Li Shui quickly apologized. Fine. Not as serious as eavesdropping. I was afraid that he would misunderstand and smiled bitterly. Then he said. It was my parents who urged me to go back for a blind date. I lied that I had a girlfriend. Why? The result is now. My parents insisted that I take my girlfriend back for the new year this year. My head exploded. Sister Shui. You said where I'm going to find a girlfriend now. So you don't have a girlfriend yet? I was lying just now. Li Shui stared at me with a smile. Then Bao Chunmin. Mind. Can understand your helplessness. But Xiao Wang. You're so sunny and handsome. The work income is good too. Finding a girlfriend shouldn't be difficult. I listened to Li Shui's praise. Very comfortable in my heart. But I know too. If I heard his praise, I just feel like I have a chance. You can even date him. That's too naive. Working together these days. I've basically grasped her behavior. Very polite and gentle to everyone. Never say anyone bad things. Only praise but refuse people from 1,000 miles of ice and jade. So I never dared to pursue her. But I took the opportunity to test it. Working so tiring every day. How can I find a girlfriend? Let's talk about it like Shuijie. You're so beautiful and generous. Good girl who is suitable for being a girlfriend. But I rarely go and my sister is 3 years older than you and a girl. Li Shui pouted slightly. Said with a smile. Female senior holds gold bricks. Shuijie. What do you think? It's no different from an 18-year-old girl. The figure is better. I praised her. Try to get closer to her. Feel the fragrance on her body carefully. It smells very good. The more I talked, the less I was going to say it. I won't tell you anymore. I'll get the takeaway. Her face suddenly turned red. Beautiful. I ran out quickly after a glance. He seems to be shy. I'm very puzzled. I don't seem to say anything wrong, right? Female senior holds gold bricks. How could she blush? I've been shy for a while. He came back with the takeaway. Seeing me still frowning, asked on his own initiative. Why haven't I figured out a solution yet? I think you can actually rent a girlfriend and go home for the new year. I shook my head immediately. Senior sister. I'm not that kind of person. Let's talk about it. I just rented a girlfriend and went home. Then act in front of parents. Why? Never mind. This temporary strange girl. Don't know me. It will definitely be exposed. Really. Parents are not that easy to fool. Don't go back and spend money and make the too old unhappy. He nodded. Then his eyebrows were staring at me straight. I couldn't help swallowing. Asked to him. Senior sister. Why are you looking at me like this? You really don't consider renting a girlfriend and going home? He asked me. Of course I want to have a girlfriend. But I just want to find a girl to act in front of my parents. I can't accept it. I said. I seem to be quite upright, too. He praised me. However, the next second, his words made me go straight. He blinked, staring at me with a smile. That's it. I'm fine for the new year this year. Otherwise, how about I'll accompany you back to my hometown? I only remember hearing him. My whole head is fierce. His smiling face looks very good. Very charming. My mind was distracted in an instant. Then just turned his cheeks right away as if I didn't say it. But how could I not want to? I'm willing to do it in my dreams. I've come back to my senses. Explained in a hurry. Just a beautiful woman like you. I can't afford to rent it. Just so I was bored during the Chinese New Year, I thought it was a trip. We are colleagues and friends. I won't charge you money. Don't worry. He said gently. How can that work? Definitely give. I insist on giving money. Just treat it as a reward for renting him. In the end, he said he only needed to be responsible. And the return travel fee is fine. Otherwise, this matter will be fine. He will definitely not collect the money. Of course I said no problem. But I decided in my heart. After this trip, I want to give him the latest Apple phone. As a small reward for helping. The next morning, we made an appointment to meet at the station. I'll see him in the crowd soon. So dazzling. Glorious. Senior sister. You're wearing it beautifully today. Very fairy-like. My whole gaze was staring at Li Shui and I couldn't move it away. I saw her wearing a white mid-length down jacket. A fool's pair of black leggings. Perfectly outline her slender and straight legs. And she didn't have a ponytail today. Instead, she accidentally dispersed her long black hair. Full of femininity. Humph. You still call me senior sister. She hummed. A tone full of jokes. One way won't call you a senior sister. Then what do I call you? I scratched my head. Somewhat understand. The idiot Li Shui pouted gently. Du Hongqi walked straight to me. Then she stretched out her hands. He hugged my arm very naturally. And called away. Hello. Sister, now your girlfriend. You must not practice in advance. So what do you say you should call me? I suddenly felt my blood boiling. He actually put his arms around my arm. And also with a kind of spoiled. Ask me what I should call her. This moment. I can feel the eyes of people around me full of jealousy and envy. Because he is really pretty. It's the kind that's very outstanding in the crowd. Big beauty. Call you Li Shui wrong. No feeling of passionate love. She shook her head. Holding me tightly with your hands. Smell the fragrance of her. I swallowed. Then he asked with a wry smile. Honey. This is too stingy. That's it. It is easy to be suspected by uncles and aunts. Then what should I call? Or call me baby? Come and call me sister. She raised her eyes. I stared at me with some expectations. I was stunned for a moment. But he still stuttered and called out baby. Does Cece think that my sister is good at flirting with her? Hips. Asked me. No, Sister Shui. You're thinking carefully. I will treat you to a meal afterwards. My colleagues who were talking dared not look at her eyes. For some reason, I always feel that today she is particularly evident that the enemy's eyes seem to be discharged. Maybe it's an illusion. Li Shui just wants to help me. I sighed in my heart. I found out that she had a backpack with her. There is also a large suitcase. Then he took the initiative. Senior sister. I'll help you get the suitcase. Also called senior sister. I'll see you who can change it later. She stared at me angrily. I scratched my head. Then he shouted in embarrassment, baby. She smiled. Nodded with some satisfaction. Looking at her beautiful face that is so close to her. My mind. There is even a trance. My family. If it's my girlfriend. My darling. How good that would it be? The next journey. She is getting closer and closer to me. Their body movements are becoming more and more like a couple. And I also changed my mobile phone screensaver to a sweet photo of me and her. Of course. This photo was taken on the way. In the eyes of outsiders. He and I are like a couple in love. But I know that none of this is true. It was Li Shui who enthusiastically helped me pretend to be my girlfriend. Accompany me home for the new year. But there is one thing I've always been confused about. That's Li Shui's large suitcase. This trip is back and forth home for the new year. Even if girls need something. I don't have a large suitcase either. I asked her twice. What did I pretend? He didn't say anything. Until I got home and met my parents. When he took out those gifts from his suitcase, I realized that the entire suitcase was packed with gifts for my family. And it's not low. For example, the liquor I bought for my dad. Although only 2 bottles. But it costs more than 6,000. The sets of skincare products prepared for my mom. I secretly checked the internet. Need more than 10,000. Besides, there are many other small gifts. When parents are busy cooking. I quickly pulled him aside. Said secretly. Senior sister. Buy gifts for my parents. Don't tell me in advance. I should prepare these. Hope you would. Also called baby. His eyes stared at me gently. Then he asked me playfully. How about it? I didn't reveal it just now. Can't see it. My parents like you very much, so I gave her a skincare finger. I have to say that Li Shui is very beautiful. Very polite. Likeable. My parents liked him very much the first time they saw him. I kept praising her for being beautiful and sensible. I also said I got a big bargain. During supper. My mother kept picking up food for him. Li Shui and my parents have a good chat. Some questions were answered to satisfy the 2 elders. But wait until the meal is over. After Li Shui and my mother finished washing the dishes. It's a tone of slight coquettishness. Say dear to me. I'm a little sleepy. I was numb for a moment. He is training on the way today. I asked me to call him baby. He suddenly said this sentence. It feels like my whole soul is about to fly out. I didn't expect it or prepare mentally. But it's too exciting. What's the stupid guy still standing there? Xiaoxue. She's been tired for a day. Take Xiaoxue to wash. Then go to bed early and rest. My mother doesn't say anything. Give me a kick.